Hello! So, with In the Heights, it's just round the corner. It's out in America, and it's nearly out in the UK. I am in a Lin Manuel Miranda-y mood. So guess what? I'm going to rate every Lin Manuel Miranda song out of 10. So, let's make a few clarifying points. This is just my songs that I've collected, so it's Hamilton, it's In the Heights, it's Moana, and then there are a few little bits shoved in there, some of his singing stuff, some like weird extra stuff. Basically, if I wanted to include it, it's here. Also, this is done in alphabetical order, if you're wondering about the order. Yeah. So, 96,000 from In the Heights. 10 out of 10. An absolute banger, and one of In the Heights' best songs. A Winter's Ball from Hamilton. 4 out of 10. Do, it's mediocre. Aaron Burr from Hamilton, 6 out of 10. It's good, but it's only good as a lead up into My Shot. Alabanza from In the Heights, 8 out of 10. This song just really hits you in the gut with some really fantastic harmonies. Alexander Hamilton from Hamilton, 7 out of 10. It's good, but so overplayed. Almost Like Praying, a charity single he did at some point, is a 6 out of 10. It's a song that I wouldn't listen to, but it raised a decent amount of money for a fantastic cause. Atencion from In the Heights is a 2 out of 10 because it's 40 seconds of speech, and that can't earn you much points in the Nerdy Brit ranking system. Benny's Dispatch from In the Heights is a 7 out of 10, mainly because Chris Jackson's rapping skills are fire. One of the cool kids, because I say fire. Best and Wives and Best of Women from Hamilton, 1 out of 10. Is there a more nothing song on the Hamilton soundtrack? Blackout from In the Heights, 8 out of 10. A great Act 1 finale that notches up the intensity. Go Us All Away from Hamilton, 5 out of 10. A great song for a character who doesn't get much development at all. Breathe from In the Heights gets an 11 out of 10. And that's the only song that will get that rating, because that is the best song Lin Manuel Miranda has ever written. Burn, 7 out of 10. Emotionally resonant and brilliantly sang by Philippa Sue. Cabinet Battle 1 is an 8 out of 10. Lin has like freestyling skills, and this is kind of like an element of what he put into the show. It works really well. Cabinet Battle 2 is 7 out of 10, because it's the same shtick, just a bit shorter. Carnaval de Barrio from In the Heights is a 5 out of 10. Now I know some of you love it, but it just goes on way too long for me. I'm struggling to understand the hype for it. Champagne from In the Heights is a 4 out of 10, and for In the Heights, this is just really forgettable. Dear Theodosia, a 9 out of 10, because it's just a beautiful song. Enough from In the Heights, 6 out of 10, a song that's really there to service the story. Everything I Know from In the Heights is an 8 out of 10. It's just sang beautifully, it's just really impactful emotionally, and I really enjoy it. Refuted from Hamilton gets a 10 out of 10 for just Samuel Seabury being one of the best characters ever written. Finale from In the Heights is a 7 out of 10, just works as a great finale song, nothing more really. Found/Tonight, the Dear Evan Hansen Hamilton mix, gets an 8 out of 10 for being that concept and doing a very good job at it. Guns and Chips from Hamilton is a 9 out of 10, very overplayed, but this song warrants it. It warrants it a lot. Helpless from Hamilton gets an 8 out of 10. Philippa Sue manages to create a very unique song in Hamilton, and it works fantastically. History Has Its Eyes on You from Hamilton, short but sweet, 7 out of 10. How Far I'll Go from Moana gets an 8 out of 10. This just follows the legacy of Breathe and Burn for more great solo songs for female characters. Hundreds of Stories from In the Heights is a 4 out of 10. It's so forgettable, but it's listenable too. Hurricane from Hamilton is a 9 out of 10. This is the most underrated Hamilton song, and it deserves so much more credit. I Know Him from Hamilton is a 7 out of 10, being the second best King George song. In the Heights from In the Heights is a 9 out of 10. I love musicals when they do like long intros, like looking at the characters. I just find that cool, and this show is one of my favourite examples of that. Inutil from In the Heights gets an 8 out of 10. Another really underrated one. This does amazing at flushing out Kevin's character, and it's fantastic. It Won't Be Long Now is an 8 out of 10. It's in the shadow of Breathe, but it's still great. It's Quiet Uptown is an 8 out of 10, because it's emotionally powerful and always manages to make me tear up. Meet Me Inside from Hamilton is 6 out of 10, for servicing the plot and not quite as much the character. My Shot from Hamilton is a 9 out of 10. It's iconic and brilliant. Show Me a Diga from In the Heights is a 7 out of 10 for being very funny while not servicing the plot that much. Non-Stop is the Act 1 finale for Hamilton, and it's an 8 out of 10. It's great. Last Time from Hamilton gets a 10 out of 10 for, again, Chris Jackson smashing it and just being a really, really beautifully well-written song. Paciencia y Fe from In the Heights gets a 7 out of 10. In the Heights has a lot of character songs, and for me, this one is forgettable among the rest, but that's by no means makes it bad. Piragua from In the Heights is an 8 out of 10. That might seem high, but I love the Piragua guy. And the Piragua Reprise is a 10 out of 10. Now, I don't care, because seeing the Piragua guy happy makes me happy. So that's a 10 out of 10 from me. Right Hand Man from Hamilton. Chris Jackson again, smashing it, 8 out of 10. Sunrise from In the Heights is an 8 out of 10. Another amazing Benny and Nina song. Can't fault it. Take a Break from Hamilton is a 5 out of 10. Good enough, but just goes on for way too long. Duel Commandments from Hamilton is 6 out of 10. Gets overshadowed by The World's Wide Enough, but is probably needed setup. That Would Be Enough is 5 out of 10. Good enough, but just, again, forgettable. That is the problem with a lot of Hamilton, is that because you've got 46 songs, about 15 of them end up being quite forgettable in the mix. Whereas the Adams administration for Hamilton gets a 7 out of 10, because for a 1-minute song, it packs enough in it. The Club is an 8 out of 10 for being very consistent and good through a very long song. Now we get on to The Cover Is Not the Book, which I've decided to include from Mary Poppins Returns. No, he didn't write this, but he sang in it, and he's great in it. 8 out of 10. The Election of 1800 is a 9 out of 10 for being one of the best mixes of plot and character. Hamilton Polka gets a 7 out of 10. Now again, I know Lin didn't write this, but it's fun to include. I think this is really fun on a first time listening. It gets a bit more grating every time you listen to it. The Reynolds Pamphlet, where the drop is enough alone to get it an 8 out of 10. Where It Happens from Hamilton is a 9 out of 10. It's just so free-flowing and energetic and just has such a nice musical theatre build. I love musical theatre build! The Schuyler Sisters, 8 out of 10. Each just a tune. Story of Tonight, 6 out of 10. Both good and forgettable. The Story of Tonight Reprise, 5 out of 10. Not as good and a bit more forgettable. The World Was Wide Enough from Hamilton is quite a hard kind of plot to kind of like write into a song, and Lin does a fantastic job of it. 8 out of 10. Underneath the Lovely London Sky, 8 out of 10. Just another Mary Poppins one that's just really quite calm and fun, and I like it, and Lin smashes it. Wait for It's a 10 out of 10. If you need any more clarification, why? Wash It On Your Side, 9 out of 10. Another bloody bop. We Know is a 7 out of 10 with some really great rhyme schemes that save this. You Know the Way from Moana. Lin really smashed his verse. It's got some great cultural elements. I love it. What comes next? 5 out of 10. The worst King George song. What did I miss from Hamilton? 8 out of 10. Act 2 starts with a real bang. When the Sun Goes Down from In the Heights. 7 out of 10. Not my favourite Benny and Nina song. When You're Home from In the Heights. One of the best Benny and Nina songs. 9 out of 10. Where You Are is an 8 out of 10. Chris Jackson smashing it, but this time for Moana. Who Lives, Who Dies, Who Tells Your Story is a 7 out of 10 because while it's a good Hamilton finale, I feel like this could have had a little more to it. Uptown is a 10 out of 10, just a joy from start to finish. You'll Be Back is an 8 out of 10, being the best King George song. Your Obedient Servant, 7 out of 10, works as some great build-up for the rest of the show. You're Welcome, the Dwayne version, is an 8 out of 10. Just fantastic stuff, Dwayne. Also, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10 to the You're Welcome version with Jordan Fisher and Lin. Now, I don't really like Jordan Fisher, but Lin gives something extra special to his verse, so I wanted to mention it here. And that's a bloody wrap. Honestly, that took a lot of time. What I will say is if this video does well, and you guys seem to enjoy it, I will talk about my top 10 Lin Manuel Miranda songs in more depth. So drop some support on this video, subscribers, likes, that sort of beautiful stuff in the comments, and I'll do that. Yeah, I'll make that video for you guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.
This is Willany, and if you're not already subscribed to The Nerdy Brit, right, you should be, right? If you're not, you're a loser too.